And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We have a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we're on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, folks. However you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Already today is a big old Wednesday. Today is our final film study of the 2020 NFL season. Truly unfortunate, but hey, we get to watch the Super Bowl a little bit again, so that's a silver lining, yeah. So we're going to be watching a little bit of the Super Bowl today on the show. We're going to be watching mainly the Chiefs offense, where it went wrong, and then, while we're watching the offense, we can also praise the defense as well, so it's kind of, a bonus there. Probably won't focus too much on the Bucs offense. That was kind of exactly what we've seen throughout the entire season. They didn't really do anything that we haven't seen, and they did everything that we have kind of seen already. We haven't seen the Chiefs struggle offensively. So let's try and get down to the bottom of that. Was it just all kind of Todd Bowles? Was it just kind of poor offensive planning? Did they not kind of open up the routes? Let's see what we see. So we'll kind of focus a little bit heavy on the Chiefs offense because we get the Chiefs offense, which was kind of the biggest question mark coming into this, or coming out of this game, the Chiefs offense. And then the second thing was coming out of this game was the Bucs defense. So we get to watch both of those today. And then obviously breaking down the NBA like always. So let's start here with our stories of the day. And folks, we are back, baby. The money maker is back on track. And when we get back on track, folks, we streak pretty decently. So now's the time to get on it. We're back at it. Jazz -6 from last night. They win by 14 over the Celtics. Once again, no problem there. This Celtics team is not at full strength. So yes, we do feel confident swallowing points when we get good teams going against them. So Jazz -6, they win by 14 over the Celtics. Really kind of no problem all game. So great pick there by us. And then Blazers -6, they win by 9 over the Magic. Yeah, Magic. Yeah. The Magic aren't that good, folks. We know this now that they don't have Aaron Gordon for a long time. We know they're going to be floundering, and they floundered once again. And very well done by the Blazers. Damian Lillard going crazy, like we know he can do. So we feel confident swallowing the points when the Blazers and Damian Lillard are facing a below-average team. That was the Magic last night. They win by 9. Bingo, bango. 2-team moneymaker right there in the books with all green lights, looking to do it again. So stick around for kind of towards the end of the show a little bit. We'll do it before the film study. That's a nice little moneymaker there. Gonna look to go back to back like we do, folks. Come on. We know what we were talking about most of the time, folks. We're back on track with our moneymaker. Alrighty, and then this story just broke today. The Texans president, Jamie Roots, is resigning from his position effective today, immediately. Little interesting, Jamie Roots was, as the Texans described him, quote, one of Houston's leading executives for more than 2 decades. He is responsible for all business functions of the club, and today he resigned. And this isn't the first, kind of major position the Texans are letting go. Last week the Texans dismissed Director of Football Administration. I'm not even going to pronounce that name. Kevin Krakjanovich. I don't freaking know. Krakjanovich. What the heck is that? Kracjcovic. Never even heard of a name like that before. But so him and the equipment manager, I can pronounce this one, Mike Parsons and his staff, amongst others. So the organization is being remade, and why is that? Well, let's just look at the total Texans history right now. Folks, there's nothing great here. Obviously, they became the Texans in 2002. And they went 4-12. Then in 2003, 5-11. Then 7-9. Then 2-14. 6-10. 8-8. 8-8. 9-7. 6-10. 10-6. Got to the playoffs, but lost in the divisional round. Unfortunate there. Then they got back to the playoffs, 12-4 in 2012. Once again, lost the divisional round. Then they're 2-14 again. 9-7. 9-7. Lost the wild card. 9-7. Lost divisional. 4-12. 11-5. Lost the wild card. 10-6. Lost divisional. And now this season, 4-12. And I mean, just look at some of these head coaches. I mean, Dom Capers in the early kind of 2000s, 2002 to 2005, he never did anything great as a head coach. I mean, not really anything great. He was a decent defensive coordinator, but that's really it. Then you got, Kubiak, who, was just kind of working with Brandon, or who was this, Matt Schaub. So really not a good quarterback there. Never really had a great quarterback until they got Deshaun Watson, and look what the organization did. They chased him out. So is that the reason why the Texans are just cleaning house and kind of the executives and kind of the upper part of the management is because they don't know how to handle having a great player? They finally have a great player, folks. I mean, they kind of forced Andre Johnson out a little earlier than he probably should have. DeAndre Hopkins, they definitely moved him quicker than they probably should have. He should have been a Texans for life. He is one of the top wide receivers in the league. So they let him go. Now Deshaun Watson wants to go out. What else do we get here? Arian Foster, I mean, a little bit of mismanagement with him, a lot of injuries. Same thing with, not having Lamar Miller for a long time. And now they've got Johnson here, the running back from Arizona that they got for the first time this year, and the running game still wasn't good. So are they just cleaning house because they know this management, they lose all the good players that they have. They can't keep anybody great. They're not doing anything good with the below average players that they're acquiring here. Bill O'Brien was a disaster of a head coaching hire, so I don't know, man. Looks like the Texans are sick of what they've been watching for the last 18 seasons that they've been there, that they've actually been an organization. So we'll see what happens. Now, does Deshaun Watson stay because of all these firings? Probably not. I think it's a little bit too late for that, but we'll see what happens. Alrighty, the final COVID numbers are in for the 2020 NFL season. Here they are, folks. From August 1st to February 6th, the league conducted 959,960 COVID tests. There was 262 positive tests among players and 464 positive tests among personnel, but all 269 regular season and postseason games were played without a cancellation. So we have to definitely give it up for the NFL. I mean, we see what the NBA is doing. I mean, kind of not very good so far early in the season, and they already had the bubble season to practice, and they still can't get it under control. The NFL, no preseason, no time to prepare, just kind of looking to see what the NBA did, and it was in a bubble, and you can't really do that in the NFL because everybody plays on the same day, and there's not enough fields in one solid location, one central location. So the NFL had to forego a bubble for the regular season, and they didn't even do a bubble for the playoffs, which was floating around. So we definitely give a ton of props to the NFL for handling the COVID situation perfectly. Only 262 players got positive tests back. That's pretty damn good for, what do we got? August to February, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, 7 months. That's pretty dang good. So, and probably the biggest thing is nobody died. No NFL player died of COVID. I mean, that would have shut the season down right then and there. It doesn't matter if it was a star player or a bench player. It wouldn't have mattered. If an NFL player died of COVID, they would have canceled the season. So another, big shout out to the NFL for, literally having it really under control, monitoring everything. I mean, they almost ran 1 million tests, folks. That's a determination. So very well done to the NFL. Now the NBA, can we start, learning a little bit more? Even if this is your second time around. Alrighty, different ways of coaching, folks. There are different ways of coaching, and both are fine. Both can win championships, as we're seeing. So Bruce Arians, let greatness be great. Here we go. We get some quotes from Bruce Arians. Here we go. Bruce Arians on resting Tom Brady. He'd text me and say, "Do you mind if I don't throw on Wednesday?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't care. You don't need to be practicing. You've been in the league forever. I know what you know, and if you don't feel like you need to practice throwing the ball, if you want to rest your arm for Sunday, yes, do that. I'd rather you play great on Sunday than great in a practice and then the arm is sore for the game day." So fantastic job by Bruce Arians there, letting greatness be great. Unfortunately, you do kind of have to coach every player on an individual basis. It's, how their coaching style is. I don't want to get barked at. That was kind of probably my biggest problem when I was playing football. I'm not a big fan of getting yelled at like that. I know what I did wrong, and I probably punish myself more than somebody can, like, yelling at me is going to happen. So that never lined up for me. So, Bruce Arians, you really have to kind of, he's treating goats like the goats. Hey, you've been in this situation before. You've paid your dues in essence. So yes, you can take a Wednesday off if you need to. So different coaching styles. We obviously know Bill Belichick. We kind of will get into that in another quote. But Billy B was never letting anybody kind of take he treated everybody like they were, first day rookies. No, you will still continue to prove yourself. You're doing good because, I'm pushing you this hard to be good, right? So different coaching styles here. We'll get another quote here from Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians on Tom Brady, quote, I allow him to be himself. Like New England didn't allow him to coach, I allow him to coach. I just sit back sometimes and watch. And I mean, folks, seeing something on the field and seeing something from the sidelines, that's different. Having input from Tom Brady. All right, what are you seeing out there? What's going to work? What do you think is going to work? What are the DBs biting on? What are you seeing from your perspective on the field that I'm not seeing from my perspective on the sideline and the booth isn't seeing from up top? What is kind of the feeling on the field? What do you think is going to work? What are you going to get them by? And having that input, folks, I mean, I love coaches like this that get input from everybody. You cannot see and know everything. You need input. These people know what they're talking about. Tom Brady, I would trust Tom Brady knows what he's talking about when he, has like an input on a play to run on the field that he knows will work. I would trust him in this because obviously he's been to 10 Super Bowls. He knows how to win. He knows what it takes to win games. So yes, I would trust Tom Brady. So Bruce Arians doing that, it's it's real nice to see. And then the last quote here, Bruce Arians on Rob Gronkowski. Even with Gronk, I'd say, dude, you're not practicing on Wednesdays. I need you on Sunday. I told him that if he ever needed a day off, he should just let me know because he never had days off before in New England. So once again, knowing that Gronk is a winner, knowing that he knows what's going to take for him to be ready for game day so we can have that day off in the middle of the week. Once again, just Bruce Arians letting greatness be great, letting leaders lead, letting people know what they're doing, and letting them kind of take a little breaks if they request it and if they want it and if they need it, knowing that they will always show up on Sunday. That trust there is perfect. Bruce Arians and Tom Brady, man. I know their relationship seemed a little rocky, in the beginning and in the middle when Bruce Arians was, publicly calling him out. But hey, that's just their style. Bruce Arians is not going to hold anything back. And if you're doing right, he's going to praise you about it and he'll let you get days off. And if you're screwing up, he's going to let you know about it. So I absolutely love Bruce Arians' coaching style. It's no wonder why they won the Super Bowl this year without a preseason, first year with everybody there. It's just a mutual respect between a great head coach and a great player. Both players and coaches know what they're doing, and they're letting them do what they do. Alrighty. Couple of free agent wide receivers here. Juju Smith-Schuster and Will Fuller are, quote, at the top of players the Jets are targeting this offseason. Obviously, the Jets are going to need a wide receiver. They got no weapons anywhere, like running back, wide receiver, anywhere. Not even the quarterback is even that big of a weapon. So definitely going to have to get a weapon here. Some decent names in free agency. Juju Smith-Schuster, Will Fuller, obviously. Allen Robinson's another one. Kenny Galladay's another one. So some solid talent out there, definitely. Juju Smith-Schuster, I would say, is going to stay in Pittsburgh, especially if Big Ben is going to come back for one more season. I would definitely see Juju Smith-Schuster staying with Pittsburgh. Also, him going to New York, he would get ate up by the New York media if he continued to dance and TikTok every Sunday and all that. If he's not winning games, the New York media will eat this man alive and he will not want to be there anymore. So I don't really see Juju Smith-Schuster going to the Jets. Will Fuller, I have no idea, really. He missed the last 5 games of last season because he tested positive for PEDs. So unfortunate there. He's also going to have to miss the first game of this season because it was a 6-game suspension. There was only 5 games at the end of last season when he got caught, so he will miss the first game of the 2021 season. I don't think he's going to re-sign with the Texans. Really not sure where he goes. He's a great talent, and the Jets would definitely benefit from having him. Any team would really benefit from having Will Fuller. He's definitely a solid player, but I don't really have a read on Will Fuller. But I don't think Juju Smith-Schuster. I really don't see Juju Smith-Schuster leaving Pittsburgh. Alrighty, a little bit of hinting of what's to come. Devontae Smith was, I don't even know what this is from, but he was playing Madden live against a Chargers player, and Devontae Smith used the Miami Dolphins in this game. Is this hinting that he wants to be a Dolphin, that he knows he's going to be a Dolphin? I hope so. Devontae Smith at number 3 is what I am begging for. I am rooting for. I'm trying to get into contact with Brian Flores. Unfortunately, it's been unsuccessful so far, but Devontae Smith using the Dolphins, and he had a big old smile on his face when they called him out on it. So I really want to see this man in Miami. Truly, at number 3, luxury pick. Do not trade it. So help me God, do not trade this pick. Get somebody. Really, just get Devontae Smith, but truly do not trade the pick. Get a third pick, and it's Devontae Smith. All right, Washington quarterback Taylor Heineke agrees to a 2-year contract extension with the Washington football team for $8.75 million, and I absolutely love it. He was a true leader for this Washington team. Alex Smith couldn't get it done. Unfortunately, we know Dwayne Haskins really couldn't get it done all season. Taylor Heineke, third stringer, steps up late, goes toe-to-toe with Tom Brady in the wild card game, does pretty good. Unfortunately, just couldn't be clutch, and, we all expected that. But he won over his teammates. We saw Chase Young going absolutely wild over Taylor Heineke, saying that, damn, this man can throw, and really encouraging him and just being a true leader. Both of them, Taylor Heineke and Chase Young, defensive and offensive, respectively. But, I'm super glad this man got a contract extension. It's low money here, $8.75 million for a decent, solid backup quarterback who could potentially be the starting guy if Washington doesn't get it figured out this season. I don't see Washington staying with Alex Smith after this signing. I feel like they would try and get somebody in the draft and, start Taylor Heineke and then back up the rookie, getting him elevated, ready to play, seeing what Taylor Heineke can do. Because I really don't see Washington having 3 quarterbacks on their roster for next season. Maybe they do. Taylor Heineke, Alex Smith, and a new guy, a rookie to kind of train to be the starter. But, the problem with, cutting Alex Smith is, he's the comeback player of the year. I mean, he risked his life. He got injured. He was out of the league for 2 years, and now he's back with the home. It's hard to kind of, get rid of that. It's a big kind of morale booster in the locker room. It's a great story that, everybody talks about. So it is going to be hard to get rid of Alex Smith, but this re-signing of Taylor Heineke, I think, is real great for him. Truly deserved, honestly. His leadership, his ability, carrying the team, playing in a playoff game. So I absolutely love it. He definitely deserves it, and we are big Taylor Heineke fans over here. I think the man can definitely play. Alrighty, let's switch over to the NBA for the last couple of stories here. Report multiple executives saying that the Baltic Celtics are, quote, up to something. And yes, they better be up to something, because this is not a good team anymore like it was last season. They are definitely worse off from last season in the bubble to right now. Marcus Smart being out for a couple of weeks is definitely, hurting them a lot. But definitely the big men down low, they just don't have that big star. Daniel Tice is just average. He's really just average. Tristan Thompson, he played with LeBron, so he's got that, but once again, he's just kind of maybe a little slightly below average. If you put him at average, that's fine. And Robert Williams off the bench, that's nothing great anywhere. So they don't have a great big down low. They're getting beat all the time down low. They've got the 2 great, wing superstars, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I mean, that's fantastic. Kemba Walker's really not panning out how I thought he would. I thought it was going to be a real great pickup. I was really excited for him. He was great with the Hornets. He was doing his own thing, but now when he's on the Celtics and has a chance to kind of compete for a ring, he's not really elevating his own game. He's not really elevating those around him. His production just kind of seems useless in the grand scheme of things, because they're always losing, and it really doesn't feel like he has a big impact on this team. So, the Celtics definitely got, less depth from last season to this season. They don't have Gordon Hayward. They don't have Enes Kanter anymore. Those are 2 great, or Gordon, I don't even know the first name, but I meant to say Gordon Hayward if that wasn't the first name I said. Gordon Hayward and Enes Kanter. Celtics, they better be up to something. They better get a solidified, proven big. If they trade with somebody from the Cavs, that would be fantastic. Andre Drummond would help this team out a lot. Jared Allen would help this team out a lot. They need a solid big. I would trade really all my other pieces. I would probably trade Kemba Walker and Daniel Tice for at least a solid big and a decent point guard, honestly. honestly. I don't really think Kemba Walker is elevating the play here. So obviously you can't trade Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown. Those are your two superstars. That's your main offense right there. But everybody else should be up to sale. They should try to make a heavy push at the trade deadline to solidify and secure a great big, because that's what they're missing there in Boston. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously, as the season progresses. But the Celtics, they need something else. They need something else. Alrighty, and then the Nets lost last night to the Pistons. Once again, the Pistons just stepping up and beating a good team. They beat the 76ers. They've beaten the Lakers. They've beaten the Nets. It's honestly insane. They're not a good team, but they just beat the best teams for some reason. Do the best teams overlook the worst teams? Potentially, but you still have to step up and play, ball out that game. So we give those Pistons respect and credit for beating the top-tier teams. But when the Nets lose, folks, we know there's a lot of personality, there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of non-leaders on that team, and we get a lot of quotes every time they lose, and we get the head coach and we get a superstar speaking out. So we'll go with the coach first. Steve Nash says, quote, "It's up to the team to decide what kind of team they want to be." Oh, lame. If a coach ever said that to me, I would instantly lose respect. Hey, I'm just the coach. Y'all can decide what team y'all want to be, because you guys are the one playing out there on the floor. I'm just the coach. I really hate that. Can you take control? Can you take the leadership? Put it on yourself. I would, if I'm a coach, I'm putting it on myself. I'm not letting my players take any of the blame ever. I want to be a player's coach. Obviously not, a pussy, but I do still want to be a player's coach, so they have my respect, so they play for me, they play for each other, and they don't have to worry about all the nonsense in the media, because all the media is trying to do is get a reaction out of you that is going to hurt the team. So Steve Nash, first year as a head coach, really never understand the hire in the first place. Didn't like this man anyway. Thought he was if I say decent player, I'll probably get destroyed. But he was a good player, obviously. But yeah, just because you're a good player doesn't mean you make a good coach. It's crazy that this has to be said. But Steve Nash hire there, it's trash. He's not supporting his players. Now, let's kind of say this. I mean, the players never respected him right from the get-go. I mean, as soon as it was announced that Steve Nash was going to be the coach, Kyrie went out and said, "Hang on, we basically have no coach now," which is the ultimate disrespect, and that's the true disrespect that I don't like. But yeah, Steve Nash saying, quote, "It's up to the team to decide what kind of team they want to be." That is nonsense. That is not what a coach is supposed to say. So I kind of lose a little respect for Steve Nash for this quote. And plus, you've got who was the Rockets ex-head coach? I'm forgetting his name. He coached the Knicks. He coached the Rockets with James Harden, and now he's an assistant on this Nets team. This man's not proven either. So you've got really a garbage coaching staff on this team with a lot of non-leading superstars. We knew this wasn't going to work, and it's not working here. But Steve Nash was not the only person that had a quote after the game. Kyrie Irving on the Nets. Here it is, quote, "As a warrior that I am, and the energy that I have alongside my teammates, we just have to turn that corner. We haven't done it yet, but we will. I'm telling you, the league's going to be on notice when that happens." Folks, this is what Steve Nash should have said, besides the first opening line, "As a warrior that I am, and the energy that I have alongside my teammates." Cut that out. What is that nonsense? You're like, virtue signaling. Hang on. I'm the warrior. I'm, the energy. I'm the heart of this team. Stop this, because I see you on the bench, and you're literally not talking to anybody. You have the biggest disappointed look on your face, like, "Oh man, we lost. Ugh, we lose. Oh, we're losing." No, have some energy. Get your team back into the game. This man's not a leader by his body language alone, and I see that. So you're not fooling us when you're saying, "As the warrior I am, and the energy that I have alongside my teammates." No, you don't. I'm watching you. What is this? Maybe behind the scenes or in the locker room you could say that because I'm not there. But what I am seeing on your body language in the games on the bench, it's not that great. So this is what Steve Nash should have said. You cannot be bailing on your team ever. I don't care if everything is going wrong. You cannot bail on your team ever, because you will never win that respect back when you finally get good. So this Nets team, it's dysfunctional. They've got the talent, but it is truly dysfunctional. Alrighty, those are all the stories that we needed to cover for today. Let's talk about the NBA. We'll quickly go through what happened yesterday, then we'll go a little bit deeper into the stats. We'll do our moneymaker, and then we'll watch some Super Bowl film. So here we go. As we just said, here it is. Nets losing to the Pistons 122 to 111. No Kevin Durant still. He possibly could play on Friday. We'll see what happens there. But, there's still no reason why the Nets should be losing this game. Kyrie and James Harden should be able to get it done. They are still very, very deep. Joe Harris, DeAndre Jordan, there are still good players on this Nets team without Kevin Durant playing. They don't need Kevin Durant to solidify this entire team, especially when you're going against the Pistons, who just traded arguably their best player, Derrick Rose. Maybe not their best player, but definitely a top 3 player that's on that Pistons team, even though that he was on the bench. So no reason why the Nets should have lost. They did lose. We told y'all to stay away from it. When we learned Kevin Durant was not playing, we instantly took the Nets minus 6.5 out of our moneymaker because we knew they need all their 3 stars to have a chance to win. And, when they don't have all 3 of those 3 stars, they lose to the Pistons. We know this. Alrighty, Derrick Rose, first game in New York, and it was absolutely magnificent. Unfortunately, the Knicks couldn't win. They lose by 2, 98 to 96 over the Heat. Very well. Both these teams are very, very good teams, and they should both make the playoffs. Heat, are they back in the playoffs right now? They should be. Let's see. Are they the 8th seed? Oh, currently still the 10th seed, 2 games back, game and a half back from the number 8 seed with the Knicks, half a game back. So real close game here. 2 good teams that I would expect to be in the playoffs when it's all said and done. Derrick Rose really kind of elevating this bench team even more than what they are, so that's fantastic. And Jimmy Butler still doing classic Jimmy Butler things, elevating those around him, and he's playing very well. So great game to watch. 2 good teams going at it, and it was a close game. Love to see it. Alrighty, Rockets and Pelicans, and man, oh man, are they missing Christian Wood. No Victor Oladipo for this game either, but John Wall was kind of having it, decently up until the point where the Pelicans just kind of out-rebounded the heck out of the Rockets because they need Christian Wood. Yes, Demarcus Cousins is good, but he's no Christian Wood rebounding the ball, and the Pelicans, they've got Steven Adams and Zion Williamson. Folks, they're going to clobber the boards like they did last night. So Pelicans absolutely blow out the Rockets, 130-101. We told y'all to stay away from the Rockets as well because we knew Victor Oladipo was not playing, so unfortunate there. Warriors winning their second meeting here, 114-91 over the Spurs. Steph Curry went wild, and the defense of the Spurs once again just couldn't get it done in the fourth quarter. So once again, Spurs are still up and down. Warriors are still kind of up and down themselves. So 2 highly up and down teams, can't really get a true read on them. I do like the Warriors. Spurs show glimpses of really good play, but then they also kind of get blown out sometimes. So still don't know what to make of those 2 teams, but we will continue to try to figure it out. Celtics and the Jazz, and this was one of our moneymaker picks. Jazz winning 122-108. Without Marcus Smart and without a big, they're not going to be able to do anything in this Eastern Conference right now. Let's see, if the playoffs started today, they would have to face the Pacers. They may be able to beat the Pacers because the Pacers don't have a great big themselves, so they may be able to outshoot them. But let's just say they make it to the second round. Who would they face then? Most likely, what do we got? Yeah, who the heck would they face? Most likely the 76ers, maybe. If, 1 through 4, all 1 through 5, 6, 7, and 8, the top 4 win, then they would have to face the 76ers where they have 0 chance. Let's just say they have to face the Bucs. They would have 0 chance against the Bucs down low. The Nets, decent shot, but you wouldn't be able to outshoot Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, and DeAndre Jordan would probably still dominate Daniel Tice. So this Celtics team will not be able to handle any of the bigs, any of the top tier teams, even if they make the playoffs. They need somebody else. They got destroyed by Rudy Gobert down low. They had no answer for him. So that's why the big win there, 122-108 over the Celtics. Blazers, Magic, the second pick in our moneymaker last night. Blazers winning 106-97. Yeah, just the Magic, they're not good. They don't have that second superstar. Damian Lillard went crazy. Carmelo's having a great success like he did last year in the bubble, hitting some clutch threes. He steps up in the starting role this game, and he has a pretty fantastic game. I think he scored like 24 points. So very well done to the Blazers. They've got players even without McCollum and Nurkic, and when they get those back, you better watch out for this team because Damian Lillard is just so consistent. It's crazy. From last season in the bubble to right now, the man is super consistent when he's out there. Alrighty, and then the last game on last night, close game, unfortunate, the Kings lose it, but it was against the 76ers. So 76ers win 119-111. Like I said, a close game, in the Kings, man, they impress me every time they touch the floor, challenging, going toe-to-toe with the best team, in our opinion, in the NBA right now, the 76ers. So great game. Joel Embiid, obviously, he goes monster. There's no team that can stop him. There's nobody that can stop him, and that goes for the Kings as well. So unfortunate that the Kings lost to the 76ers, but that's kind of known. We know that this Kings team is very, very good, and they do have the ability to knock off the top tier teams. We just saw them beat the Clippers the other night, but the 76ers, I think, are a little bit of a different beast just with their ability down low and their three-point barrage surrounding them, and their defensive, the only pure defensive player in the league, which is Ben Simmons. That's all he does, really, because we know the man can't shoot. So the 76ers really have it all, man, and it's unfortunate that the Kings had to face them, but I give them so much respect for going toe-to-toe, making it a competitive game, only losing by 8. The spread last night for this game was Kings plus 5.5, and we were very close to taking it, but at the last second we chose not to, so very well by us to kind of see the writing on the wall. Alrighty, let's go a little bit deeper into these stats now. Let's see who was doing good. Let's see who was doing bad. Who do we blame for wins? Who do we blame for losses? So let's start here with the Nets, who did not step up. First of all, we got Kyrie Irving, 27 points, 7 assists, 2 rebounds. He shot 28 times. Holy cow. 2 of 9 from 3. Not great at all. Only got to the line once. All right. James Harden, 24 points, 12 assists, only taking 14 shots. James Harden, he impresses me every night, man. Even in their losses, this man is just doing what it takes to try and get a win. 24 points, 12 assists, 6 rebounds. I mean, even Kyrie Irving couldn't even get that many, rebounds or assists, and he took so many more shots. So James Harden, he is the one that is truly changing his play here. I know we say this every game because we see it every game. Folks, if I'm saying it every day, it's because we're seeing it every day. And the more we say it, the more that, it carries weight. We talk sports every day, so, we got to talk something. So, alrighty, who else did not do so great here? We see Joe Harris, a little light, 6 points, 2 assists. He only shot 6 times, though. Jeff Green, 10 points, not bad there, but only 2 rebounds, no assists. DeAndre Jordan, 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. Once again, just decent play there. Timothy Luawe Cabaret, TLC, only 3 points off the bench, not great there. Landry Shamet off the bench, 10 points. Let's shout out Bruce Brown because, 8 points, 9 rebounds off the bench. I'll give him that. It's just with Kyrie Irving taking 28 shots. I know he likes to, be the shooter and get up all the shots, and I get it. He can hit the threes, he can drive, he can really do everything. So, having 28 shots isn't that much when we know he can just drive and hit the threes. He's really, a pure shooter, a pure scorer, really. And I get it, but Joe Harris taking 6 shots, that should not happen, especially without Kevin Durant. Joe Harris should be, taking way more shots. He should be having the 10 to 15 shots, that Kevin Durant is taking. So Kyrie Irving still taking 28 shots. That's not a true leader to me. He's a point guard. Let's start passing the ball around a little bit more. Yes, your 27 points is definitely needed, but we need other points because look at this. I mean, you get 24 by James Harden, 27 by Kyrie Irving. The next highest is Jeff Green and Landry Shamet with 10. I mean, then the next highest is 9 with DeAndre Jordan, and now we're talking 8 and 6s. So definitely need that third scorer here that they didn't have. And Kyrie Irving shooting 43%, 22% from 3. Not going to get it done. Alrighty, let's go to the Pistons now. Did Blake Griffin have a monster game and that's why they win? Not a monster game, but definitely a better game than what he's kind of averaging here. 9 points, still not a lot. 5 rebounds, I'll give him that. I'll give him the 5 rebounds there. 2 assists, 3 steals. Very good there. I'll give him that all day. 1 of 5 from 3. Still not great there. Getting to the line once. Missing it. Missing his one lone attempt. Shooting 36% from the field. Not good. So his shooting percentage is still good. Taking too many threes is wild. I don't get it. Having 5 rebounds is good. The 5's the cutoff. I need at least 5 boards from this man on a game-to-game basis, and I definitely need him in double-digit points. But, hey, he's improving a little bit, so I guess we say that, but not even that much of an improvement, honestly. Jeremy Grant went absolutely wild. 32 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds on 58% shooting. This is what we want to see. Why can't Kyrie Irving do this? Jeremy Grant numbers, 58% from the field, 50% from the 3. Got to the line 7 times, put up 32 points. Come on, Kyrie. I thought you're the warrior, right? You're a true warrior, Kyrie. Alrighty, Mason Plumley, 14 points, 7 assists, 12 rebounds. Great game by him. Really just eating up on the boards. Damn. Rebounded DeAndre Jordan by 4. That's pretty damn good. Alrighty, Dylan Wright, 22 points, 9 assists on 43% shooting. Look at that. This man, Dylan Wright, took, what do we got, 12 less shots and only scored 5 less points. Come on, Kyrie. You got to start stepping up. You preach that you're the true leader, that you're the best, that, the only reason why the teams that you were on that had success was because of you alone and nobody else. So you've got to start stepping it up more. We see Dylan Wright shooting better than you out here with nowhere near the talent that y'all have. So what is that going on, Alrighty, so that's Nets Pistons. Nets losing. That is classic now. Alrighty, let's move on to Knicks and the Heat. And let's start here with the Knicks so we can get right into Derrick Rose, right? Let's start with the starters first. Julius Randle, 12 points, 8 rebounds. Very light on him. RJ Barrett, he had a chance at a buzzer beater, game-tying layup. Ends up missing it, unfortunately. Drove to the basket. As the time is expiring, runs into Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, plays good D on him, and he just forces him to miss the layup. Unfortunate for RJ Barrett, just couldn't be a little clutch here. But still a decent performance. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Didn't shoot well. 35%. So not a great performance. Really not a great performance by anybody in this game. Alfred Payton, 18 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, shot 50%. That's probably the best performance of the night. And then we get 2 great contributions off the bench. Alex Burks, 11.6 rebounds, very well done. And Derrick Rose, baby, 14 points, 3 assists, and only 20 minutes of play. And he shot 55% and 66% from the 3. So very well done first game, making it work. And we also have a clip from this game, so let's watch it. We get a no-look D Rose pass. Look at that. No-look dime from Derrick Rose. Let's watch it one more time. Absolutely magnificent. Truly no look. I mean, look at that man's face just going stonewall forward and then dumps it off. So, I mean, this man can definitely make it work with this second squad. Emmanuel Quickly, we know, is having a fantastic season. Not a great game here, but we know that he can play very well. And same thing with Nerlens Noel. That's a great big. So, and we got Obi Toppin. I mean, this bench of Quickly, Rose, Toppin, and Nerlens Noel, they can get it done, folks. They truly can. So, now we like their starters. We know Julius Randle and RJ Barrett are their 2 stars here on the team, but now this bench has gotten even better now that there's a true facilitator on the bench now, giving it to Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickly, 2 scores off the bench that are proven here. So love this game, or love this team, really. Rising team, and now we can start rooting for this Knicks team, and I love it. Alrighty, let's go to the Heat now. Jimmy Butler, doing great. 26 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. Shot 40% from the field, 50% from the 3, only 1 3 and 15 free throws. So very, very well done there. Classic Jimmy Butler game again. Kelly Olynyk really stepping up here. Love to see that. 20 points, 6 of 8 from 3. Well done. Bam Adebayo, 19 points, 6 rebounds. Duncan Robinson, once again, only 4 points, 0 of 5 from the field, 0 of 7 from the field, 0 of 5 from the 3, and only got to the line 4 times. That's where all his points came from. So this man definitely definitely needs to step it up. Everybody on this Heat team has been stepping it up from, last season to this season, or continuing what they're doing from last season to this season, but Duncan Robinson. So he's got to start stepping it up. I would send this man to the bench and start to get him kind of reacclimated on how to score points. Kendrick Nunn, 11 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Not terrible. Not a terrible day. And then they got great contribution off of Tyler Hero off the bench, 15 points, 3 of 8 from 3, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists to go along with that. Damn, all right. Alrighty. So, yes, the Heat team kind of getting back on track to where they were now that Jimmy Butler's in the starting lineup. Once again, those quotes of Paul Pierce saying that the Heat weren't going to make the playoffs was absolutely nonsense, folks. It's crazy. People, on primetime television saying nonsense stuff, and then, me out here, spitting straight truth every single day at noon Eastern at twitch.tv/takesbyfans. We get no love over here. It's a little disrespectful, but, we understand it. We understand. All right, what else we get? Is that it? That is it. Alrighty, so that's Knicks Heat. Close game, great game. Alrighty, let's keep moving on here. Do we need to go back to this one? Jimmy Butler, let me finish that thought. Jimmy Butler saying, or not being out. Jimmy Butler's the lifeblood of this team. That's what we know. And with him being out because of the health and safety protocols for 2 weeks, they were losing games, which wasn't surprising us. We knew that. And now that they get Jimmy Butler back, yes, they kind of floundered in the first maybe 1 or 2 games back that he was in, but it's going to take adjustments to get everything back to all right. Now that Jimmy Butler's, let's get back to how we play with Jimmy Butler on the court. And now they're starting to get there, and they're a game and a half out of the playoffs. Let's all relax a little bit. All right, now we can move on to Pelicans and the Rockets. Let's start here with the Rockets. John Wall, 25 points, 6 assists, very well done. Eric Gordon, 23 points, 3 assists, once again, very well done. But it takes away from the bench scoring a little bit now that Eric Gordon's in the starting lineup because Victor Oladipo's not there. Demarcus Cousins, 7 points, 7 rebounds. I mean, this Rockets team got out-rebounded all game, folks. 37 rebounds for the Rockets in total, 55 rebounds in total for the Pelicans. Steven Adams, Zion Williamson was just eating everybody. Demarcus Cousins, he's good, but he's not a starter. That's why, he's off the bench with Christian Wood is healthy. So, this is kind of a little lackluster Rockets team. This is not the team that we brag about on the show. Once Christian Wood's back and once Victor Oladipo and John Wall can consistently play together, I mean, we're talking about, resting on back-to-back. So one will play the first game, one will play the second game. I hate it. I truly do. Let's start playing in every single game. I hate the no urgency in the NBA. It is truly frustrating. I mean, in the NFL, you can't take any games off because, I mean, if you lose one game, you literally could be out of the playoffs. Ask the Dolphins, one extra loss and we're out because of that. So it's definitely frustrating with players taking time off and load management. Man, I get it, but it's frustrating. So DeMarcus Cousins here, 7 points, 7 rebounds, not bad, but didn't do great against Steven Adams or Zion, so unfortunate. PJ Tucker, 7 points, 4 rebounds. Deshaun Tate, 13 points, 7 rebounds. Off the bench, Daniel House Jr., 13 points. Sterling Brown, 11 points. Daniel House Jr. had a great game. 13 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Didn't shoot well, but everything else was pretty good, especially coming off the bench. Alrighty, let's talk about the Pelicans now. My goodness. Look at these 20-point performers. Look at these double-digit performers out here. Everybody stepping it up on this Pelicans team. And, folks, they've got a young team that with some great shooters on it. So, Brandon Ingram is having a fantastic season. I absolutely love it. Magnificent. He deserves a lot of credit for kind of the turnaround here. Brandon Ingram, the addition of Steven Adams, Stan Van Gundy, those three all deserved a lot of credit for what's going on in this Pelicans team this season. And also Zion, obviously, because he's having real great success here now that he's kind of playing consistent minutes here, not like in the bubble where he would play like 4 minutes and then be out for until the third quarter. Kind of crazy rotations there, but they're finally starting to get it figured out here with Zion. 20 points in 20 minutes, 7 assists, 5 rebounds, shot 60%. Fantastic. Got to the line 10 times, not taking threes. Zion Williamson is a complete player here. Great defense, as we see a plus 29 in the plus minus, led the team by far. Steven Adams, only 6 points and 4 rebounds, so he didn't have a real great night. Eric Bledsoe, 10 points. Lonzo Ball, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Shot 3 of 6 from 3. So, better than what he, kind of averages. So, what a good game by Lonzo Ball. Josh Hart, magnificent as well. Another 20-point score for the squad. So, he had 20 points and 17 rebounds. Jesus. Rockets so preoccupied with Zion and Steven Adams that Josh Hart was just like, oh, free rebound here. Let me take him. And he got 17 of those bad boys. Josh darn, I should say. And then look at this. Willie Hernagomez, 14 points, 10 rebounds. Jesus. The bench, we're getting all the boards. Jeez. Now that Demarcus Cousins not off the bench, their bigs down low off the bench aren't that great. Now that, Demarcus Cousins has to be the starter because of Christian Wood. Alrighty, what else do we get? Is that it? That was everybody? JJ Redick, 0 of 1 from 3. Classic JJ Redick. Jackson Hayes gets in for 1 minute, scores 2 points. I'm a huge fan of Jackson Hayes. If he can find his way kind of into, either, a bench role, obviously he's probably not going to be a starter since they got Steven Adams. But if this man can kind of work his way up to a bench role, big fan of Jackson Hayes. Big, athletic, big man down low, can make it work. So very excited to see this man play. Unfortunately, the Pelicans are kind of deep now. So the Pelicans absolutely blow out the Rockets 130-101. Alrighty, Warriors in Spurs. Warriors, what do we got? Seth Curry doing great, 32 points. Fantastic. 4 of 10 from 3. Not great, but hey, 32 points overall. Not bad. Kelly Oubre, once again, kind of going back to resorting to what he does. Only 12 points. 10 rebounds is good, but he's got to be the second scorer here consistently, and he's not, unfortunately. Andrew Wiggins, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Juan Toscano Anderson, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Draymond Green, 6 points, 11 assists, 7 rebounds. Very well done there. And no needed buzzer beater 3 from Draymond Green. So they win the game because of that. All right, and then look at this bench contribution. This is solid. We got Kent Bazemore, 10 points, Damian Lee, 11 points, and Eric Paschal, 15 points. So that's all very solid, making up for the lackluster nights of Kelly Oubre. Not great. 28% shooting from Kelly. Come on. Man, this man's super disappointing me. Hate it. Alrighty, now we go to the Spurs. Well, look at this. No 20-point score on this team, so now we know why they lose. DeMar DeRozan, only 12 points. Keldon Johnson, 13 points. The leading scorer was Rudy Gay off the bench with 17 points. That's not going to get it done. DeJounte Murray struggling, only 8 points. Devin Vassell struggling, only 6 points. Jacob Poeltl struggling, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Barely played 20 minutes, so I guess we can kind of chalk that up to why he had a lackluster night. Patty Mills, 13 points off the bench. Trey Lyles, 15 points off the bench. I think the bench, 3 bench players outscored all the starters, basically. That's not going to get it done, especially when you got Steph Curry, the GOAT, putting up 32 points. So the Warriors get the revenge from losing, what was it, Monday? Yeah, Monday, Sunday, whatever it was. And they beat the Spurs 114-91. Alrighty, let's go on to Celtics and the Jazz now. Let's start here with the Celtics. Jason Tatum, 23 points. Jaylen Brown, 33 points. Classic games by them. Daniel Tice, 15 points. Solid there. I'll give him that. 15 points, very solid. 4 rebounds. Tristan Thompson, 7 points, 5 rebounds. Mediocre, not the greatest. And no great help from Kemba Walker, 7 points on 16% shooting. Once again, this man is just not performing consistently. He doesn't know what it is to win. He's been on the Hornets for his entire career, so he doesn't know what it takes to win games. Now he's in a system that is used to winning, and he's not having any solid contribution. So they got to do something, get a better big, get rid of Kemba Walker. They've got to try and do something because they will, like I said, they will not compete in the East with this lineup. It's not going to happen. Alrighty, the Jazz now. Donovan Mitchell, I'm so freaking impressed by, folks. I love this man. Super consistent. 36 points on 23 shots. Once again, Kyrie, Donovan Mitchell is outperforming you almost on a nightly basis. So can we tone down the God complex a little bit, Kyrie? Jesus. Donovan Mitchell, 36 points on 52% shooting. 46% shooting from the three, 9 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks. I mean, just an absolute monster performance. Rudy Gobert, 18 points, 12 rebounds. Classic games by these. I mean, they're so consistent, folks. I freaking love it. This close. I mean, I could possibly do this on Friday of moving the Jazz up to the number 1 seed in our power rankings. I think they're currently number 2. Is that correct? Where are we at with them? Ooh, we got them at number 3. I can definitely say they will be moving up. I don't know how far, but they will be moving up because I'm so freaking impressed by them on a nightly basis. Love it. Love everything about this team. So deep. I mean, yeah, deep. They got the 6th man of the year. Jordan Clarkson, 13 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. Very well done. Derek Favors, 4 points. Little light, but they still have him. Georges Niang, once again, only 2 points off the bench, but they still have him. We know what they can do. Man, this man. Oh, so freaking good. And then let's shout out Bojan Bogdanovic, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists on 50% shooting. The team is magnificent, and we got a little clip of them from last night, so let's watch this. I mean, folks, this is what the Jazz are. Donovan Mitchell just going crazy every game. A nice little three-pointer there, really just icing the game. The Celtics were down for the majority of this game, but they would make a couple of runs to kind of narrow the lead, and then we just have a monster 3 by Donovan Mitchell or Joe Ingles or something like that, and then we're going to get another 3 here, just dropping the defender on a nice little step back. This is what Donovan Mitchell can do. This is why Donovan Mitchell is so much better than Jamal Murray, is because he's more consistent, and then he hits these big threes, and what we don't see at the end of this clip, unfortunate, it did kind of want to highlight it a little bit, was just after, on the next possession, after the step back 3 by Donovan Mitchell, on their next possession, they just kind of run a simple pick and roll with Rudy Gobert, dump it off, and he's wide open under the basket for a free 2 points. That's what's so dangerous about this team. You can't guard Donovan Mitchell because they'll give it to Rudy Gobert. If you guard Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell's just going to destroy you one-on-one, and if you try to guard it both, they're going to have a nice pick and roll where one of those two is open. So love everything about this Jazz team. Alrighty, let's close out these last 2 games. Here we go. Let's start with the Blazers. Damian Lillard, 36 points on 40% shooting with only taking 22 shots. Got to the line 13 times. Once again, Kyrie, what are you doing out there? You need to start stepping it up if you're going to be the guy that you claim you are. You need to start putting up 36 points. Why can Lillard do it? Why can Mitchell do it when, why can they do it and you can't? Can you explain that, Kyrie? Now's the time to do it with no Kevin Durant. I mean, what's the deal? What is the deal? Where were we? I'm kind of sick of talking about Kyrie Irving, honestly. But yes, all right, here we go. Gary Trent Jr., 15 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Very well done. Enes Kanter, 10 rebounds, only 6 points, a little light there. Derrick Jones Jr. back in the starting lineup here. Like to see it, but once again, just not really big on the points department. I will give him the 10 rebounds, 6 offensive. That's why we love Derrick Jones Jr. The man is a dog. He is athletic. He doesn't put up all the points or the assists, but he will have a great game in like one category, and here it is, rebounds, and offensive rebounds, specifically having 6. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic. So like to see this man back in the starting lineup. I'm a big fan of Derrick Jones Jr. Off the bench, Carmelo Anthony steps up huge, 23 points, very well done, 5 of 9 from 3. Anthony Simmons, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, just kind of getting carried by the great performance of Damian Lillard and the bench play of Carmelo Anthony, able to lift them up past the Magic, which isn't too hard, as we know. Vucevic, 27 points, 15 rebounds. Alrighty, we know Vucevic is the one constant on this Magic team. James Ennis finally getting back to what he's doing here. 16 points, like to see that. Dwayne Bacon now in the starting lineup. All right, little interesting there. 11 points, 4 rebounds. I think he plays a little bit better off the bench. He played 30 minutes right here with the starters and really didn't improve his game. I think this is his first game in the starting lineup, so we will have to kind of track his progress as a starter now. But, we give everybody a free pass on the first starting performance, getting elevated from the bench to the starter. So we'll do that the same with Dwayne Bacon. Terrence Ross off the bench, 22 points. Very well done there. Yeah, that's really it. Just kind of solid performances all around. I mean, Vucevic, 27. Terrence Ross, 22. James Ennis, 16. I mean, these aren't bad performances. Just no big superstar like Damian Lillard on that squad who's going to get you the 36, who's going to elevate you past, your normal scoring kind of output. Alrighty, and then the last game of the night, 76ers and the Kings. Let's start here with the 76ers. Look at this starting lineup. One of these things is not like the other. Oh my goodness. Danny Green still does not step it up, folks. We are going to read you the points from everybody, starters and bench players, and one of these things is going to stand out a little bit. So Dwight Howard, 8 points. Shake Milton, 11 points. Furkan Korkmaz, 13 points. Ben Simmons, 14 points. Seth Curry, 22 points. Joel Embiid, 35 points. Tobias Harris, 22 points. Danny Green, 4 points. He's a starter, folks. He's a 3-point shooter, folks. He puts up 4 points when literally everybody else put up more points than him. I did leave out my T. Thybule. He put up no points off the bench, but I was just trying to make a point, folks. Danny Green, start stepping it up. Please, at some point in your career, you played with LeBron. You've won a ring. You've got, I think, a ring with the Raptors. You've got rings. You've got championships. Why can you just not step up? I don't get it. 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 3 from 3 with only 4 points to show for it, with everybody else outscoring you. I don't get it. Already, Joel Embiid, 25 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. I mean, folks, this man is fantastic. Really almost unguardable, honestly. Him and Jokic, you can't guard him. It's crazy. Seth Curry finally having another great game. Love to see him getting back on track, 22 points. And Ben Simmons, 14 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Very well done. A +9 in the plus-minus, the highest for the squad. Korkmaz, 13 points. Shake Milton, 11 points. Dwight Howard, 8 points, 9 rebounds off the bench in only 13 minutes. I mean, folks, this 76ers team is real good. They've got great starters, and they're deep, folks. I love everything about this 76ers team. Is now, which one do we like better, the 76ers or the Jazz? It's hard because in a head-to-head matchup, the Jazz cannot guard Joel Embiid, just like they can't guard Jokic, and that's why they struggle against the Nuggets every single time. So it's hard to put the Jazz at number 1 because Rudy Gobert, he's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but he can't guard the 3, and that's the one liability with him on the floor. Alrighty, and then the Kings here. Let's finish off here. De'Aaron Fox, 34 points. Once again, Kyrie. He did take 30 shots, which is more than Kyrie, but he still put up 34 points and 10 assists and 6 rebounds. Why can Kyrie not do this? Why, Kyrie? Buddy Hield, 21 points. He's having a real great season as well. Let's shout him out. 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Shot 35% from the field. Very not good. And shot 6 of 16 from 3. Once again, very not good, but still contributing a little bit in the points and everything else. So we'll definitely shout him out. Marvin Bagley, 17 points. Raquan Holmes, 10 points. Tyrese Halliburton, 15 points off the bench. Very well done. And then Harrison Barnes, a little lackluster night, 8 points on 33% shooting. So they kept it close against the 76ers, just unfortunately had no answer. I mean, they got out-rebounded 59 to 39. So unfortunate for the Kings. All the second chance points, all the extra rebounds by the 76ers. It's just too much because Joel Embiid is a force down low, folks. Alrighty, let's go to what do we got on tap for today. I do believe we have some primetime games, which is always great. Primetime nationally televised game. So here we go at 7:30. We got the Hawks and the Mavericks on ESPN. Going to be a good one. Trae Young versus Luka Doncic. Who is going to be able to take this game? Going to be a close one. We may be able to get some great value with the Hawks. If we get like +5 or 6 points with them, possibly take them. We'll see. And then the late game, 10 o'clock, Bucs in the Suns. Should be an interesting game. Unfortunately, I don't really see the Suns having great success containing all the beef that the Bucs have. Yes, the Suns have DeAndre Ayton, but I don't know how he's going to fare against Giannis. So, this is going to be a good game to watch because this is what the Bucs need to start doing, beating kind of the elite teams, the better teams in the league. So the Suns, this is kind of a good matchup for the Bucs. They should have no trouble. Well, I don't want to say they should have no trouble, but they should kind of match up decently against the Suns team, and they should be able to have success. So we'll see what actually happens tonight. But going to be a good one to watch, 10 o'clock on ESPN. Alrighty, now let's kind of go to the lines here. update these lines. We are on a moneymaker streak, folks, hitting our moneymaker from last night. Jazz -6, bingo bango. Nets -6, or Blazers -6, bingo bango there as well. So 2-teamer hit last night. We're looking to go back to back. So let's see if we get any great value here. And I see DraftKings switching up their thing. It's all dark here. A lot of dark, very much darker than I remember from yesterday. I'll have to double check the film, but it's looking real dark here, which I've got no problem with. I think it looks actually kind of clean like this. Alrighty, let's see what we get here. First game up, Raptors, Wizards. We got Wizards +5.5. I would never take that, folks. You know our stance on the Wizards. We would not take them +40. Never. So we're going to stay away from it because I'm not buying into this Raptors team anyway. This is a game that they should win, don't get me wrong, the Raptors. But, they are kind of emerging. They are kind of still trending up. In the past month, they're still trending up. But in the last week, they are kind of all over the place. So we are going to stay away from the Raptors. We need to see some more games under their belt and then, help us out for the next time. So no great value here of Raptors, Wizards. Hawks, Mavericks, Hawks +3.5. You know how I feel about the Hawks. This Mavericks team is starting to get back on track. Are they on a 2-game winning streak? What do they got here? Dallas Mavericks on a 2-game win streak. So not gonna take this game. It's not a great value. Hawks +3.5. It's all right value, but very close. Hawks on the road. Once again, not something I love on them on the road. I do love them at home, but on the road against this kind of streaking Mavericks team a little bit, we'll stay away from this one. Not great value here either way, in my opinion. Clippers, Timberwolves. Clippers -10.5. Timberwolves +10.5. Do we swallow 10.5 points? We know this Clippers team is on a 2-game losing streak. Kawhi Leonard should be good to go. Paul George should be good to go. Let's double check here. See if we get any updated information. And we get nothing. This man has been letting me down these last couple days here. I always like to shout them out, but either they're not getting any of the information, or they're getting lackadaisical on us. So let me quickly bring this up. I just kind of want to see what's all right, what do we get here? Oh, Paul George is out, so we will officially stay away from this one. And Patrick Beverley is a game-time decision, so we're definitely not swallowing the 10 points if Paul George is out of the starting lineup, especially with kind of how well this Timberwolves team has been playing these last couple of games. They're not winning these games, but they're playing decent, being competitive. So definitely staying away from Clippers -10.5. Pacers, Nets. Oh, Nets on a back-to-back. This should be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Pacers, Nets. Once again, no Kevin Durant. He can come back Friday at the earliest, it seems like his timetable from the health and safety protocol. Pacers, they haven't played in a while. I feel like we haven't talked about them in a while. On the road here, Nets coming off of a very, very tough loss here. We'll see how all those quotes from Kyrie and Steve Nash play out. Not going to take this one because I don't love this Pacers team. They're solid. It's a solid team, but they are kind of missing a beef down low. That shouldn't necessarily affect them against the Nets because they don't have a true great defensive beef themselves. DeAndre Jordan's all right. Not as good as he once was. Unfortunate. So not great value here. Not ready to buy this Nets team. Not ready to buy this Pacers team. So we got to kind of stay away from this one. Hornets Grizzlies. Alrighty. All right. Hornets Grizzlies. Hornets +4. Grizzlies -4. I kind of like the Hornets +4 a little bit here, folks. They've been streaking great. This Grizzlies team, they're kind of all over the place. No great leadership by John Morant, unfortunately. Not taking that next step that Trae Young has taken that we're kind of, praising about. What do we got out for the Grizzlies? No big names. Hornets +4. What are they on? Are they on a winning streak here? Think we may have found our first decent take here of Hornets. They're on the 2-game winning streak. We've been taking them with the points a lot in these past couple of weeks, and I think we're still going to ride it here. Hornets +4. They should have no trouble being, facing up head-to-head against the Grizzlies. Haven't seen, great solid performances here by the Grizzlies all season, where the Hornets, we have been getting solid performances by a lot of these players. So Hornets +4.5. Everybody seems to be healthy, ready to go for this game, so we'll take the 4 here, because they have a great chance of just winning the game straight up. So Hornets +4, our first pick here. Cavs, Nuggets. Cavs -9.5, or Nuggets -9.5. Could you imagine Cavs -9.5, Nuggets +9.5? I would easily eat that up. But Cavs, they kind of rise against occasion against the best teams, but even at that point, they still lose. Nuggets, obviously they're definitely a great team, definitely trending up. Jokic is absolutely unstoppable, but the Cavs have some decent pieces that may be able to kind of not guard him totally, but not allow him to get like 30 points and like 17 rebounds, maybe like a solid 25-point game, 12 rebound night from Jokic. So we're going to stay away from this one because Andre Drummond and Jarrett Allen, in my opinion, can not lock up, as we said, but kind of throw Jokic off a little bit. So we'll stay away from this one. Not going to swallow 9.5 for the Nuggets. Pelicans, Bulls plus 2.5. Pelicans minus 2.5. Once again, I think we may have to swallow the 2.5 here by the Pelicans. They are on a back-to-back, which is a little concerning. Let me double-check them just to make sure everybody's good to go, but we can 100% not buy anything into this Bulls team, and everybody's good to go for the Pelicans. We've got nothing here. Lauri McKinnon is out for the Bulls. That's kind of their second best option, honestly. Otto Porter still out. Chandler Hutchinson out. Wendell Carter out. So not buying this Bulls team at all, even at home. We'll swallow the only 2.5 here for the Pelicans. That should be no problem. Thunder, Lakers minus 11.5. Anthony Davis should be good to go this game. Let me double check that as well. But either way, we don't feel comfortable swallowing 11.5 still. What do we got for Anthony Davis? LeBron James, game time decision. Anthony Davis, game time decision. I'm assuming they will both play. They both play here. But, not going to swallow 11.5. And the last game, Suns, Bucks. Suns plus 4.5. Bucks minus 4.5. Just going to stay away from it here because I want to see how well DeAndre Ayton fares against the beef of Milwaukee. We'll sit this one out, get a little bit more information for our next kind of bets tomorrow whenever they face, Bucks, Suns again. We have more knowledge on that bet going forward. But I think we get some good value here. We got a nice little only 2-team moneymaker here today, looking to go back-to-back. Hornets plus 4, Pelicans minus 2.5. Great value, I feel, for both of these teams in their situations, so we're taking those for our moneymaker. Alrighty, let's switch over to our main topic, which is our last film study of the year, unfortunately. Last official. We may have some impromptus, throughout the offseason. We'll see what happens. So here we go. I mean, unfortunately, once again, the NFL site is still not working. What is going on? It literally fine all season. Now the Super Bowl, and we can't, go kind of our usual route of how we like to look at up stats and drive summaries. So we're still getting the infinite loading screen here on the scores tab. You go to the schedule. It still brings up the game. You click on it. It brings us to the screen where we are used to seeing, but it just, once again, infinitely loads, and it is truly unfortunate. So we won't be able to look up the drive summaries, unfortunately, but it is kind of good because all we kind of want to look at is just the Chiefs offense. So that's kind of like that's the only thing we're going to do. We're going to start from the beginning of the game, watch the Chiefs offense, and see what went wrong. Why did it not work? Was it just the pressure that got there immediately? Was it just, Patrick Mahomes not making great reads? Was it just the receivers could not get open? Was it just the offensive schemes, the actual plays themselves? So let's see if we can see anything from this Chiefs offense and why it floundered, because we haven't seen that all season. We have not seen this Chiefs offense flounder the way it did in the Super Bowl. Only 9 points, no touchdowns, really nothing consistent, no consistent drives, no consistent plays, nothing of the sort. So here we go. The first offensive possession here for the Chiefs is coming at 13 minutes, 33 seconds. So the Bucs, I believe, went 3 and out, give the ball up to the Chiefs. So here we go. Let's watch the film. We'll just kind of we'll keep going on and watching the Chiefs offense until we kind of just feel like we've seen enough. So hopefully we don't go too far, but we'll see where the film takes us. So here we go. Chiefs offense is what we're looking at. Why did it not succeed? Was it the Chiefs? Was it the Chiefs offense, or was it the Bucs defense? That's perfect for why we choose, watching the Chiefs offense, because we can see the Chiefs offense and the Bucs defense at the same time, and those are the two more interesting stories to watch for in the Super Bowl in totality. So here we go. 1st and 10. I mean, they got great starting field position, starting on their own 32-yard line, trying to get something very quick here, and that's kind of what we saw from their Week 12 matchup. Get the ball, out quickly, extend the ball to. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today. We are out of here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching very, very late today. Damn, these last 2 days, I don't know what's going on. We're taking our time, I guess, which is good, but unnecessary maybe. I don't know. But we'll see. Tomorrow on the show, what do we got? Breaking down the NBA. You got anything good? Any I don't know. We'll come up with something for tomorrow's show. But we're back noon Eastern tomorrow live, twitch.tv/takesbyfans. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching our last film study of the year, folks. It was great. Unfortunate for Patrick Mahomes, it wasn't so great. Unfortunate for his supporting cast, it wasn't so great. And yeah. Alrighty, we're out of here. Thanks for tuning in. We're out.